Hey everyone, welcome to Rockhound Talk Live. I am your host, Amber Nicole, and this is my co host, Ben Korn. Welcome.
Hey everyone.
Some interesting events or news that's come out recently. We will be discussing that here shortly. Ben, how have you been?
I've been good, really busy moving.
Yeah.
It's one of those things you don't really realize how many rocks you have until you try to find something in a bunch of boxes that are all labeled and then you're trying to find something it's a little daunting at times, but no, it's going good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I'm actually heading out to New York tomorrow. So I'm going to be taking my daughter and nephew, which are two kids that really got me, not, oh, my daughter got me started, but the two kids that I have taken along with me on most of my rock hounding adventures over the years. So I'm excited to introduce them to some hard rock mining. It's going to be fun.
Nice.
I see that you finally emptied out your apartment.
Yes, I am here in my almost empty apartment. So, yeah, I'm sitting at my office right now, which is a big task, but a fun one. So I'm hoping for the next episodes I'll be in an office and I can have nice decorations and it'll be really nice. I'm really looking forward to having space for an office,
Yeah,
rock cleaning stations, all that stuff that you just don't get when you're in an apartment.
yeah, for sure. I'm sure you'll definitely appreciate that. It looks like looks like a Jay Shaw said hi. Welcome to the show, Jay. Glad you could join us tonight. Or I not tonight. Gosh, we're so used to doing it at night. I should say today. This is our
Yeah, this
first early
afternoon.
show.
Yeah, we're a little bit earlier since we've got international guest on tonight.
Yes, yes. So why don't you start with your news that you wanted to share with us?
Yeah, I know we like to talk about things that go on in the rock hounding world. Someone tipped me off just a few days ago that there is a new law that was passed by the legislature in Montana and was just signed into law by the governor that as of July 1st, if you are on any Montana state lands that are not state parks, so wildlife management areas, fishing access sites. Those are really big rock hounding sites, areas that people like to do, especially for Montana agates. You need a conservation license to use the land. In the past, you only needed a conservation license if you were hunting or fishing, but now you need a conservation license to just do any recreational activity. So whether it's walking a dog, bird watching, rock hounding, if you're at a fishing access site, launching a boat, if you're hiking along in a wildlife management area, all of those you need a conservation license. So the good news is it's only $10 and it covers for the full year. Their frequently asked questions for this year says that they aren't going to ticket anyone. They're actually just going to say, hey, do you have this? If not, here's a reminder that you're going to need to get this.
Yeah.
Since this all is sort of a new thing. But anyone that is not a resident of Montana, is $10. I think it's like $8 or something like that if you're a resident. But so that's something new if you're going to Montana and you like. I know that a lot of the access spots on the river are popular for agates, so
Yeah.
you'll need to get a conservation license now to do that in Montana.
Yeah, totally. Thanks for sharing that because I mean, that's important to know for um I mean, you're going out there to explore and you don't live in the area. I mean, that's something you definitely want to make sure that you have. Um so there's not going to be any kind of requirements beyond the license. Like you don't have to like be doing any kind of special research. Like, for example, here in Ohio, if you want to rock hound on any state land, like state parks or anything like that, you have to have a permit. And you could only get a permit if you are in a like special group, if you're like a geologist that's doing research, that kind of thing. So it's
Right.
not like the everyday layman can go and get, a permit. So is there any kind of restrictions with that? Or is it just for, just get the license or the license and that's it.
Yeah, yeah, and it's interesting too. We always say know the laws where you're going. So like in Minnesota, state parks you cannot collect,
Okay.
period.
Yeah.
But for example, in Montana, you can actually collect in a state park. You do have to pay the day use fee for the state park.
Oh, okay.
And it is, in Montana, the high water mark of the river is considered the public waterway. So you
Okay.
are allowed to be on the river, in those parts. I know I took a group of Minnesotans out to Montana a couple years ago. We went to a state park and everyone was super nervous. And we actually ran into a park ranger there. And he said, "Oh, you go down to the river to collect agates, blah, blah. Okay, have fun." So it's, it varies wherever you're going. But for this new law, it's only certain areas. It's only, if it's a private land, you don't need anything. It's just they want people that are using the state recreation areas to have some money so that they can go into maintaining those, access roads and latrines and different things that they have there.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah. And
If
you
anyone
said
has
you had
any
some
questions.
you,
Yeah,
you had
yeah,
some
yeah,
news
yeah.
too.
Yeah. So I didn't memorize the article, so it'll be bits and pieces there. But so it just came out a few days ago that they found the oldest glacier. It's in southern Africa. At some point, obviously, when Pangea, southern Africa was closer to the South Pole, glaciers, obviously. And so, how they found evidence that this is the newest, oldest glacier was they found under the largest gold deposit in the world. Underneath that, they found glacier moraine or moraine. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Moraine.
Yep,
Okay.
Maureen.
Yeah. Yeah. They found it there underneath. And, the dating of the rocks and everything, they discovered that this is now the oldest glacier that now that we have, the previous one is no longer the oldest. So
Right.
it was just interesting to read about and the fact that I didn't know that, where the largest gold deposit was at, it was even there. So it was interesting to read if anyone is interested into that. I don't have the reference, but I can certainly put it into the link of the show later.
Great.
Yeah. So because of this being an early show, there aren't as many viewers. So I was gonna there's not any questions right now. We should probably just bring on our guest, you think?
Yeah. Do you want to go ahead and introduce
Yeah.
him?
Yes. So tonight's guest is Moha Mezane, and he is a Moroccan fossil and a rockhound, and has had some pretty incredible finds and achievements that he will share with us, as well as our journey. So, welcome, Moha.
I am Beam.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. So,
Hi.
how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Good, good.
Yeah,
How's the weather over there?
yeah. It's extremely hot. It's getting like 45 degrees today.
That's
It's
Celsius for anyone who's
Celsius.
listening. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and that's very hot. I can say
Yeah.
as a nurse, I only in my field, I only need to know, around 38, because that's when so a human has a fever. So I know 38 is over 100. So if you're at 45, I mean that's got to be really hot.
Yes, very, very hot. You can't stay outside during the day. You know, we just work in shade and stay in home all the day until the sunset, and then so we go outside.
Yeah. So when I was talking to Moha, we speak with our guest before the show, and I was speaking to Moha the other day. And what was interesting in our conversation was that so many of us here over in the States, especially those of us who live up north, our rock hounding season is like, sometimes March, but mostly like April, May to like October. and it's like the opposite for Moha. They rockhound in the winter. Well, I don't know if it's really winter for them, but they rockhound in the opposite season as us. And
Yeah.
like November, September until March or something, you said?
Yeah, we rockhound from October until May.
Okay.
Okay, it's the season, but when from June, July, August, it's so hot. You can't go outside hunting fossils. So we do some work of cleaning fossils, preparation, and stuff like that in the shade.
That's kind of what we do in the winter. So that's really was really cool just to kind of learn that we have opposite kind of schedules annually. So Moha, tell us a bit about how you got started into collecting fossils and minerals.
Okay, so I'm first I have to introduce myself for the crowd watching. I'm Moha Mezane, a fossil hunter from Morocco, the southeastern part of Morocco, and I hunt fossils all in the area from the Paleozoic era, and how I get into the fossils, because my father was a fossil digger. He dig fossils since the 60s. So when I go to school and come back, and my father come back also from work and bring back some fossils like ammonites and small trilobites. So it was like toys for me. I used to play with them. So then I like the morphology of the fossils. When it's vacation, we go outside I go with my father to collect fossils, because they just are lying on the ground. And I remembered first fossils I collected. It was small trilobites. I go every day with my dad, and I collect a dozen of pieces. So, and I put them in my pocket, going back home, and I use them like toys and playing them, counting them. So after time, and then go to discover other fossils, because we live in a very rich area with the fossils. You can find trilobites, ammonites, crinoids, even dinosaur fossils within like 30 miles. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So.
Yes. So with that too, so we were talking about laws and rules for some of the rocks here. Do you have certain laws and rules for collecting fossils, like on private land or government land, or do you need permits? What do you need to do that there?
In Morocco, it's different, because it's all the most of the quarries and the fields are public, so everyone can go collecting, digging. You just have to respect the people around, because it's kind of small communities, small villages. They work just around either with the dino fossils, ammonites, or trilobites. So everyone can dig and hunt fossils here. It's no problem.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. So when you were younger, your father got you into this, and so have you been hunting and collecting since you were younger? Or did you have a period where you went away from it and came back, or?
Actually, it's, when I was a child, it's just like, I consider them just like toys and to play with them. Then then the patient started by finding more with my father, and when I found something I don't know, because my father he doesn't know too much in fossils, so he knows the very common ones like ammonites and trilobites, and yeah. So me, I do some searches and looking for the books on the internet to learn about the fossils, the names, species, the ages, and because every fossil is telling us a story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Nice. And so now, so you started collecting and learning more about them, and now you have gotten to the point where you guide others in the field to find them, and then also you sell some of your specimens as well. So this has become like a full-time job for you. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, it's correct. Yeah, it's full-time job for me collecting fossils, guiding trips for people who are interested to collect fossils, and I'm selling also my finds in fossils. Yes, that's what I do as a job, and I love it.
Yeah. So I'm so curious about your fossil field guiding that you do. How does one get to have that opportunity to, go out and collect with you? Do you have like, a service that you offer like on online, like if somebody's watching this show and they want to come to Morocco and have you as a guide, how would one go about that?
So for doing trips of field trips, collecting or digging or just touring, I arrange geological tours for people. It depends always on their interest and time and budget, because there is some people who are interested in such kind of fossils, and there is some people who they just want to discover all the fossils in the area. So for everybody who is interested in going into a tour with me, you can contact me on my website.
Okay.
I will. Yeah.
Nice. Very nice. So what is your favorite find that you have, collected?
My favorite finds, it was a new shark species I discovered 3 years ago. So I didn't even know it's a shark fossils, because it's like divided into like 100 pieces. You don't know
Right.
the exact fossils. So I collected with the help of a very close friend to me, who is Christian Klug, is a curator at University of Zurich, and I want to thank him very, very much for helping me to describe these amazing finds that I'm proud of.
Yeah.
Um,
So
sorry, go
how
ahead.
did you find out that it was a new species and it wasn't something that anyone's found before? Did they do a comparison or a test, or how do you find out that it's new?
Actually, it's my friend Christian who find out that by his knowledge, and actually he's a curator in University of Zurich. He does a lot of studies about fossils in our area since when he was a PhD student. So he discovered something that is not common in the discovered sharks, which is like very detailed, even soft part of the body of the shark. It was well preserved, yeah. And the shark has large nasal. He can smell. That means that he can smell more than the other sharks do. So, which is a new thing to discover in the sharks that are living in the Earth since millions of years ago. It was actually like 360 million years. Yes, the age of the shark, which is feminine age.
Yeah. So I seen a picture. I seen a picture of the actual fossils, and I seen how they were laid out, and you can see the outline of the little tiny pieces, like you said, and it looks like a shark. But what's so incredible to me is that you were able to find all those little tiny pieces, put them together, and then you see the shape of the shark. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's the most hard work for a paleontologist when you glue back the pieces of kind of huge fossils together. You know, you have to gather them, to put numbers, and to be careful when you are excavating, not to lose any tiny pieces. So it is very interesting to keep all the pieces, even it looks weird in the field, but when you're preparing the fossils, it's very important to have all the pieces together.
Yeah, and so how long did that take you? Like to find, I guess not how, I guess two questions. How long did it take you to find the pieces, and then how long did it take you to know where to put them?
You know, it depends, because when I found the shark, it was actually by chance, because I was looking for other fossils, and I ended up finding that huge shark. So I stayed days and days excavating that fossil. So I put every piece and with numbers, and taking a lot of pictures, then wrapping them and take them home to gather them, to make some glue and the preparation. It's process of cleaning, preparation, gluing, and many things to do to get the fossil very clear, and to know all the parts. And maybe you need someone to help you sometimes, because it's a work of patience. If you are not used to that, you can't do that work. I did the first time when I find fossils like that with too much pieces. It took me a time, and I work all the day, and then I never finish it. So I let it maybe a week after that, and I come back to gather it carefully. So that's very hard work, I say.
Yeah, it sounds like so just how far did you have to dig to start to see this fossil? Was part of it already exposed? Was it deep, underneath ground? What was the conditions when you found it?
The shark was actually found in the shale. It was not so deep. It's like 5 feet deep to find this. It was not so deep, but what is very hard in excavating, that is broken into small pieces. You have to be careful
Yeah.
with that. It's not a question of hardness of the rock, but it's a work of patience. You have
Yeah.
to collect
And
pieces by piece and put them together to get.
and a lot of fossils in shale are very fragile. So,
Yeah.
you break that shale and you're breaking fossil too. So I
Yeah.
imagine you had to be very careful.
Is that where you find? Do you find most of your fossils in shale? Is that where you look?
Yes, yes, it's based on Famine age. It's geological period, which is dated around 360 million years. So I found this is where I'm based, and I mostly hunt fossils like crinoids, which is the fossil I was looking for, and I ended up with finding the shark. It's a kind of very rare crinoids, and I have a piece here.
Oh, nice. And that's a crinoid, right?
Yes, that's a crinoid.
Yeah.
It's the same age as the shark fossil. Yeah,
So we had a question actually
sure.
from Mike. Hi, Mike. Glad you could join us.
Yeah.
Could you answer that there? Do you see it there on the screen, the question?
Oh, yes.
The large.
Are those large crinoids from Sailor in your? Yes. It's in my area. Yes, it's different a little bit from the actual crinoid I showed you right now, and it's in my area. It's like uh, 10 miles different between the two different species where we found them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
And actually, the Scaphocrinids is very common here in Morocco. Is the most common crinoid to find in Morocco.
now those ones those crinoids that Mike was mentioning, is it from is the period Cerulean or is it Devonian?
It's the Scaphocrinids is Silurian period,
Or Silurian, okay.
and this one which called the Morocco-Crinus, it's Devonian age.
The one that you showed us was Devonian.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Mm.
Very nice.
And I found also ammonites, different species of ammonites, orthocons, and brachiopods, and trilobites also. Trilobites, Morocco is known by trilobites all over the world. People comes to dig and to get trilobites here in Morocco, because as I told you from the beginning, the most of quarries are public. Everyone can go digging, and they can pick up some finds. Yeah, and it's okay. No problem.
That's awesome. Like it's encouraging to hear that, because I would love to definitely want to come there sometime.
You are very welcome.
Oh, nice. That looks fun.
Yeah, so
Tell us a bit about this picture.
The photo is showing some of my fossils, finds, and some minerals too. With my friends, and we had a nice trip collecting fossils, dinosaur fossils, and we get also to the mine to pick up some crystals. Yeah.
Nice. That looks like a lot of fun.
Is that the vanadinite?
The vanadinite, it's the with the red crystals. It's in the pictures. The guy with the hat is holding a vanadinite. As you can see, it's red with the buried kind of white minerals.
Yeah, I
The
see.
the plate, the guy with the red cap is holding a species of trilobite, which is called Selenopeltis. It's Ordovician age,
Okay, yeah.
and I'm holding a piece of red quartz and a hematite. The guy,
Yeah.
the guy on the right is holding some manganese and quartz, and so all these are my personal finds from the area, either fossils, crystals, and much more stuff.
That's fantastic.
So how far do you have to go to find all of this? Is this like next to where you live? So it's only 10 minutes away.
It's for the minerals, it's like 30-minute drive from home, and the fossils are not so far away. Just like 10-minute drive from home. You can't just go around the outcrops and collect the fossils. They are just lying on the surface.
That's incredible.
Wow.
That's you're very fortunate to have that opportunity to live right there. That's awesome.
Yeah. And I have a fossil also to show you here.
So it's a trilobite.
Yeah, look at that. Oh boy, look how big that is. That's incredible. Oh my gosh. It's the cleaning is like, is it when you find them? I mean, are they clean like that, or do you have to put a lot of work?
No, this one is it's requiring a preparation. It's because it's preserved because it was inside the rock, as you see, with the details, and we can actually find some very preserved one just lying on the surface, because with the weathering they get eroded. So we need to find this. Actually, it's broken. The piece is broken here. It's broken. So we need it's broken. We can see the fossil in section. We can see the fossil in section, and then we glue it back together. Then start preparation with the air brazier and sand blaster and stuffs with pneumatic tools. So to get this fossil lamps, actually it takes like, to prepare this one, it takes like 4 hours of preparation.
Wow.
It's not very hard to prepare, because it doesn't have spines, which makes trilobite hard to prepare. And this one, it's not a spiny one, so it's easy to be prepared.
So wait a minute. So you're saying 4 hours is an easy clean?
Yes.
Wow. That's some dedication.
So we had a question from Mike here. He was asking if you prepare the fossils on site. I guess kind of on that too. What do you do when you find them? Do you do something to start to prep them when you find them in the field?
When we found them in the field, we as I told you, we broke the rock. It's the block, the matrix. We broke it into pieces, and the fossils, it's inside. When we see the section of the fossils, then we glue it back together and start preparing it from above. It's like this. You have to remove to now, because the people here they know very well the shape of the trilobites and fossils, so they are caring about the details, not to damage the fossils. It's the same process for the Selenopeltis.
And do you do that yourself, or do you have a bunch of friends or family that do that as well?
From time to time I do preparation, but I mostly have friends. My friend who did the preparation, because you can do hunting and preparing fossils at the same time, because it takes time to stay preparation fossils. So you don't have the chance to go to the field to collect them. But from times, like now in the summer time, because of the heat, I stay home and prepare some of my finds. Yeah, and I will show you more fossils I have here.
Oh, wow.
Is that an ammonite?
Yeah, this is gonitite.
How big do the ammonites you find get? Because I've seen some really huge ammonites. Do they get very big?
Actually, I found the big one. I found it was like 50 centimeters. 50 centimeters.
Okay.
Because
So that's almost 20 inches.
Yes, but because in Devonian we don't find the very large ammonites comparing to other periods like Jurassic and Triassic, and we don't find very big ones. But what I like in Devonian is the details and the sutures. You see, the different colors and different sutures.
Yeah, that's really pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Mm. No. And
Do you
another one,
polish them?
This one is only it's cleaned. I don't polish. I love to keep them in their rough shape. I don't like polishing as the most of people are doing here, to polish the fossils. So when we polish them, they lose their shape, and yeah. And this is my favorite one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look at the lines in there. Wow.
It's really dark too.
Wow.
It's criminalized into hematite.
Ah.
Mm.
Very cool. That's incredible. Wow. It's exciting.
Yeah, and it's very big. This one is very big because I mostly find them in small. They comes always small, like 1 inch, and even less than 1 inch. But this one is my favorite one in shape and in size also.
Wow. Do you do any fossil collecting outside of Morocco?
No, I never did any fossil collecting. I'm only collecting in Morocco, yeah. And actually in such southeastern part of Morocco, which is very rich with the kind of fossils. Because here, what makes it very easy to find fossils, because there is no vegetations to hide the fossils. You can just keep your eyes on the ground, and then you will end up finding several pieces in just a few minutes. But now it's starting to get over, because people, they are collecting since the 70s, 80s. You have always to find new places, new spots to collect fossils.
Yeah, we understand that quite a bit. I mean, it's really interesting for me to see how the similarities are, and just some of the experiences that we have and in different areas. And we have the same thing over here where, you've got people who've been collecting, since the 60s, 70s, even beyond. But and then, you have the popularity of the hobby. And then it gets to the point where, you just have to go, whoops, sorry. You have to go.
Yeah.
You have to go. And did you hear anything I said?
You cut out when whatever
I didn't catch
ever fell over.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, my computer was
Okay.
but you have to go and find new areas, and a lot, like, for example, if we're collecting on the lakeshore, and it's a popular public area, most people will stay in this vicinity, and so we have to maybe walk 2 miles away, to go find stuff, because most people don't want to walk that far, that kind of thing. So we have to get creative and find new places as well. So it's just an interesting parallel that we have.
Yes. That's what I'm doing. I'm always into new spots and new fields to find new fossils, because what I'm into is to find the new species always when you find something that no one has ever found. So it's my dream.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you've already found one on your own. It's like you got to find another one, right?
Yes, yeah. You never stop looking for new stuffs and fossils.
Yeah. So you do guiding as well, where you take people to find fossils?
Yes.
Have you had people from all over the world then come to look for fossils?
Yes. They come, people from all over the world, to look for fossils, and I arrange tours for them to go and enjoy what I'm doing, and finding fossils by their own stuffs, and enjoying that. And I'm taking them into the most interesting places to find fossils, because here there is fossil formations in the area. There is a famous formation for dinofossils, which is called the Kam Beds Formation. I don't know if you have ever heard about that, but it's very important place for paleontologists all over the world. They come to find dinosaur fossils, like the Spinosaur. Have you heard about Spinosaur? No.
Mm-mm.
I've heard it. I see they sell a lot of like Spinosaur like fossils. I've seen in a lot of stores.
Yes, this kind of fossils comes from my area, and it's very, very interesting stuff. So the place is a kind of reed beds with tunnels. The fossil diggers and people working around, they make tunnels to excavate the fossils, either teeth, vertebrate, fossil fragment, and more stuffs to find here in Kam. And there is also a formation for the trilobites, which is Isomer. Isomer is the most famous trilobite formation. So people, when they ask me for digging trilobites, I take them to that place because there is a high chance to find trilobites, and it's easy comparing to other places. And there is also a spot for ammonites, which is Maider formation, Maider Basan actually, and people go there to collect ammonites, gunitides, and much more stuff just lying on the surface.
Wow.
So the people, they have only asked me about their interest and the time they have, the budget, so I can arrange a trip for them, starting from their interests.
Speaking of that, if you feel comfortable sharing, Josh Shaw, wants to know how much you charge for your tours, if you are willing to share that.
For the pricing of the tours, it depends on the places and on the how many days do you want to go finding fossils. Actually, it depends on season. Sometimes the prices it's going up and down. So I can give you like an idea about the pricing. For a day I charge like $200 a day for one person, included including the transportation, food, the hotel, guiding, and everything. But it can go high up to $300 and can go down to 150, $120, depends on the season.
So you include like housing with that?
Yes.
That's incredible. Like you're like a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, sign me up right now.
Yeah. We had a question then too. So if people are interested to get there, what would be the easiest way to get there? Like what would be the closest airport?
The closest airport, it's from here, it's Ouarzazate airport, but the most famous one is Marrakesh. Is Marrakesh. If you wanna book your flight from where you live, you just book from your place to Marrakesh, Morocco. Then we can pick up you from wherever your arrival is. Yeah.
That's so cool. Wow. You've got a really good thing going. That's incredible. At one point,
yes.
It's not probably going to happen now because my dreams are always changing. But at one point, my dream was to do something similar like that. I wanted to get a tour bus, and I wanted to do continental, like from start in Canada through the US to Mexico, like a 2-week excursion, and have Rockhounds. We would go take tour bus. We would have contracts with hotels on the way, and we would stop at private locations, like private mines or people who own just their land, their claims, and go rock hounding. And I wanted to do that, offer that service to people here. And I mean, you're doing something very similar, and I think that's so cool. That's so cool.
That's a very good idea. You will I'm sure people will like that, and then they will join you for your
yeah, it was a once idea that I had, and I'm always changing things. And right now I'm on this path with the podcast, but it was a similarity that what you're doing, and I think that's so cool because a lot of people don't have the resources to get in contact with locations and know who to get in contact to, and then put all the pieces together, like transportation and lodging and all of that. So the fact that you have this kind of all-inclusive package is like, wow. Good for you.
Yeah, because it took me a lot of time to know places, to know people around where they are working, and the places I have to go to, and the places I don't have to go to. So it's kind of routine, Sometimes you get good spots. Sometimes you end up finding nothing interesting.
Yeah. And so now you know where to go.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great.
I was just going to say, so when you take people out, I know you've said some you find on the surface. Do you have any tools that you use?
For tools I use, I'm only using a rack pickup hammer. That's what I'm using, and maybe a scale for the fossils. But I'm always using my hand as a scale for fossils because it's very interesting to to mention always the size of your finds, and maybe some paper to wrap and some goggles, protective goggles to keep your safety first, as we do always. For the people I'm hosting, sure, it's included. The tools are included in the price. I give everyone the rack pickup, gloves, everything you need in the field to pick up. If you want to pick up some stuff, to wrap it, and boxes, everything it's included on the tour.
It looks like Mike, you had asked if he's also a fossil dealer to buy prepared fossils from. Yes, he does sell his finds, and he prepares them. So yes, absolutely. And he has got some incredible ones, let me tell you.
Yes, and I put the link there too. He does have some on his website if you're looking to buy fossils. There's a link to the website.
Which, by the way, can you tell us how to say it's a really long name. How do you say the name of that shark?
It's called Maghriboselache. It's two words together. Maghrebo. It's more refers to Morocco. Selache. It's Cloudoselache. It's the species of the shark. So it's two words together. Maghriboselache Moha Mezane. So Moha Mezane is my name with an I at the end to refer to my name.
That's so cool. Oh my gosh.
Has anyone found any more of your species, or has there only been the one that you found?
It's only the one I found, and no one have found any until now. Maybe in the future someone will find it, but I'm very happy to find it, to discover it for the first time.
Yeah, the first and only. Like, that's special. Was there any other questions? I think we almost answered them all here. Let's see. It looks like Mike had asked, and I think we kind of briefly touched this. He says, is there a mountain where the trilobites are found? Like what is the terrain and where you're finding?
Okay. Yes, I will show you. I'm sending you pictures.
Okay. The illustration, yes, of what it's an awfully different looking shark.
Yeah, it's so weird. They look in comparing to the actual sharks. It looks very different,
Yeah, kind of almost like a hammerhead a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that is so cool. Like, look at that. Oh my gosh. That's like a lifetime find. Wow. That's so cool. Was there anything else, Moha, that you wanted to share with us?
I sent you some pictures of the mountains.
Okay. Is there a mountain range? Is there a name?
The mountain's called Summer. I will write it down, the name of the mountains where we find trilobite. Summer Formation.
This is the article out of the Swiss Journal of Paleontology. If you're interested in looking more, Christian Klug is the lead author of it. There's a bunch of other authors on this, but it's called Broad Snout Cladoselacean with sensory specialization at the base of modern Chondrichthyans. I'm not sure I pronounced any of that right.
It's always complicated to pronounce the scientific names of species, because it's always more than 2-3 syllables to find its name of the place. It's mostly the name of the place and the person who discovered it, and the family of the fossils, mostly the fossils, how the fossils get the names.
Yeah, and Moha did send in, it is the Isomor Formation.
Yes.
Is where they're found.
Yeah. The trilobite is from the Isomor Formation, as I write it down. It's very famous.
And do you know how many different species of trilobites do you find?
Me personally, I have found over 30 species of trilobites from the Devonian. The trilobites here, it's in the area, it's mostly Devonian and Ordovician.
Right. Okay.
It's somewhere is a formation, is not a city. It's just mountains where we find the trilobites. The closest city is Ouarzazate. Ouarzazate is the closest city, but if you want to book your flight, as I said, you book Marrakesh, because the flights are there is more flights to Marrakesh than the other airports in Morocco. It's very famous, and then we can pick up you from the airport if you are interested in a fossil trip.
Was there anything else that you'd like to share with us, Moha?
What to share with you is I'm very, very happy to join you here on the podcast and share my story with you. And I hope everybody likes what I do. And if there is any question or anything about my stuffs and my things, you just feel free to ask me to put any question. I'm here for you.
And you have Instagram too, is that right?
Yes.
Yes, and his Instagram has some gorgeous photos. I mean, you just flip through it and you're just in awe. I mean, and from the fossils to the minerals, a lot of gorgeous minerals as well. So definitely worth a look. And
Moha's Instagram is his name. So Moha Mezane is the Instagram handle.
Yes. Mike is asking if he heard about the Drotops, which is a species of trilobites, and I confirm that is coming from Isumar, is from the same locality.
Well, thanks everyone for the great questions tonight. We've had some really good questions.
Yes, and so we'll go ahead and we'll conclude the show. Thank you, Moha, for joining us. It's been a pleasure, and thank you to the guests that are watching, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Well, no, is it 2 weeks? We're kind of halfway into the week.
We're thrown off, but our next episode will be on Wednesday, our normal day, on July 26th at 9:00 Eastern with the Royal Peacock Mine. So we'll be talking with them. They're located in Nevada in the Virgin Valley. If you don't know where that is, I've actually been there myself, and they have some pretty spectacular pieces that they found there. So we will learn more about how they got started and what they found there on the 26th at 9:00.
Yes. So yes. Were you going to say something?
I'm very curious to watch the next podcast to see. I'm always into new minerals, new fossils, and new spots. So it's always a pleasure to discover and to watch people digging and collecting different fossils and minerals all over the world.
Yes, and thank you. We will conclude with that. Thank you, Moha. I'll see you later.
With a pleasure. Thank you so much. Have a great.
Peace out, everyone.
Bye, everyone.